With Klingons lurking behind every nebula and the Romulans sneaking across the border in a cloak of invisibility, the United Federation of Planets would be eager to add as many new and advanced species as they could to their membership roster. And one of these governments, the First Federation with their Fesarius-type starship designs, would be at the top of their list. But what do we know about this mega advanced starship design? Well, today we'll find out. Hello and welcome to another episode of Truth or Myth Beta Canon, a Star Trek web series that dives into the history of any given topic using beta canon sources and my own imagination to fill in the gaps. In today's episode, we're taking a look at the Fesarius-type starship design, as first seen in Season 1 of Star Trek the Original Series, to better understand its place in Star Trek history. Please note, this is a video that I had always wanted to make, but like so many things in life, once I started writing it, it ended up falling by the wayside, with me having to deal with real-life issues until it had become just another unfinished tale lurking in an incomplete folder. Flash forward to recently, where I was forced to reinstall Windows on my computer and go through everything in an attempt to restore my machine to its former glory, and I stumbled across this unfinished gem. And let me tell you, this was not an easy video to make, the main problem being how to make beauty shots for a patterned sphere. So I hope you'll enjoy the video. But as always, because this is just a beta canon video, all information relayed should pretty much be taken with a grain of stardust and only considered a little bit of Star Trek fun. And so, with all that out of the way, let's begin. By the mid-2260s, another round of Starfleet Command's 5-year mission projects was well underway. The United Federation of Planets was reaching out its hand in friendship to all those encountered, in order to secure its own future during this turbulent time. Continued aggression by the Klingon Empire, along with the Romulan Star Empire re-emerging onto the galactic stage, had the Federation looking for every ally it could get. Then, in 2266, their prayers would be answered. Well, at least they hoped. On stardate 1512.2, the USS Enterprise, under the command of Captain James T. Kirk, would encounter an advanced race rarely seen in the galaxy. And although initial contact had been rough at first, by the end of the encounter, a friendly diplomatic relationship had been established, with Lieutenant David Bailey of the Starship Enterprise agreeing to stay aboard the Fesarius as a cultural ambassador of sorts. The news of the Fesarius' advanced technology, as well as the information on its creators, a political entity known as the First Federation, sent the Federation Council into a tizzy in order to bring that organization into the Federation as soon as possible. And within 3 months of first contact, the Federation would send a diplomatic envoy to meet up with the leaders of the First Federation, with an offer to them to join in peaceful galactic exploration. Sitting at a diameter of almost 2,000 meters, the Fesarius was designed to be operated by a single person, although it contained accommodations for up to 7,000 inhabitants. As was typical of First Federation technology, the Fesarius-type starship design used a type of unique advanced warp drive, with specifications unknown and completely alien to Starfleet Command and the Federation. However, over time, Fesarius-type vessels would be recorded achieving speeds of up to warp factor 17, old warp scale of course. Information shared with Lieutenant Bailey would reveal that the Fesarius-type starships were built by self-constructing robotic devices, which would be sent into an asteroid field and convert all the materials found there into this starship design, with very little oversight needed. Tactically, not much is known about the Fesarius-type vessels of the time, though it is believed that they were in fact well armed, with the Fesarius containing a tractor beam system able to tow a starship like the Constitution-class USS Enterprise with very little effort. Shield strength for the class was also unknown, with some Federation scientists believing that the Fesarius-type starship design included shields capable of containing a supernova, while others believed that their shield systems were weaker than Starfleet's, as they didn't require them thanks to the strength of the Fesarius hull's material. A standard shuttle bay was not included in this design. Instead, pilot vessels able to control both the main starship and the auxiliary spacecraft would be integrated into the Fesarius's hull and detached when necessary. Overall, the Fesarius-type starship design was an amazing piece of engineering, far more advanced than anyone could have imagined, and the Federation wanted access to this technology, and to that end, they would offer the First Federation membership into the United Federation of Planets. But all would not go as planned. The First Federation was similar to that of the UFP, with 19 member worlds included within its government. For some unknown reason, the First Federation homeworld and the 19 systems that surrounded it had all been established long before humanity had even stood upright. All ancient civilizations, they tended to stay within their own space, having already explored the galaxy as much as they had wished to. And although the Federation's offer of membership had intrigued them, it would be the First Federation's form of government that would become the big problem. You see, all major decisions affecting the First Federation would require debate, something the Federation would of course understand. But their process of debate was not only complex, but an extremely slow one. Every single civilian in the First Federation had the right to debate and ask questions during the council meetings. And once the entire first cycle of debate was complete, a second one would then begin to confirm the findings of the first debate. The First Federation was far older and far more powerful than any races or governments that had ever been encountered. The sense of urgency for self-preservation had long since vanished from this unique multiculture, and so to them, they would take as much time as was needed to decide on the matter. By the 2270s, the Federation would scale back their diplomatic relations with the First Federation, and by the mid-2280s would simply leave the First Federation to their own devices, with a last communication asking them to contact the Federation Council when a decision about membership had been made. In 2373, a lingering mystery would be solved by the USS Voyager while trying to make their way back home to the Alpha Quadrant. After the Federation's "Call us when you've decided" note, Lieutenant Bailey and his now good friend Commander Baylock decided to head off into unknown space to do some exploring of their own. Almost 90 years later, the USS Voyager would encounter the Fesarius during its travels home, and would rescue Bailey from a species known as the Mondosians. Still very much alive and looking quite young for his age, Lieutenant Bailey and Commander Baylock would give a tour of the Fesarius to Captain Janeway before continuing on their self-proclaimed exploratory mission. However, very little substantial contact would be made throughout the years with the First Federation itself. In fact, even by the 32nd century, the United Federation of Planets had not received an answer to Federation membership, leaving most throughout the Federation to wonder if their debate still raged on. Built by an ancient conglomerate of species, the Fesarius-type starship class still amazes all those fortunate to gain a glimpse of one, earning this massive and technologically advanced starship design its well-deserved place in galactic history. Thank you for watching today's episode of Truth or Myth Beta Canon. What do you think of the Fesarius-type starship design and the historical narrative that I've created here? Do you want to see more videos like this one? Well, leave your comments in the section below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, hitting that little bell icon so you won't miss a single video we release. Want to help the channel speed up its dealings with the First Federation? Then consider becoming a channel member subscriber or a channel patron. Both a major help that allows this channel to purchase resources and 3D models to keep it going. The link to both memberships is in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Live long and prosper.